Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. I would like to give a special thanks to Dadeland, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram for giving me time with the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 3 with 4x4. Let's talk about pricing here for the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Starting price here is at $104,845, including destination. This one stickers for $133,204. If you're in the market for a Jeep, you can come check out Dadeland, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram and ask for Brian. He will get you into a new or pre-owned vehicle. But let's talk about the front fascia of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Let's talk about the front styling here of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. But before we do that, I did review a Grand Wagoneer about a month or so ago. That one had the blacked out package. This one has more aluminum trim, as you guys can see. It looks really nice here with this light gray exterior color. But looking at the headlight modules here, there's this LED projector headlight with an automatic low and high beam, sequential turn signal, LED daytime running lights. There is LED fog lights here at the lower part of the fascia with more aluminum trim. I actually like the grille here. This does have the corporate 7-slot Jeep grille. There's the Wagoneer name spelled out on the actual grille. There's also a front-facing camera with a washer on the end of it. You kind of can take this vehicle off-roading if you would like. There's also these very beefy recovery hooks here just in case you guys get stuck off-roading. But I want you guys to comment down below in the comment section and tell what you guys think about the Grand Wagoneer. To me, it looks very concept-like. I'm still trying to get used to the design cues, but it looks good, and I'm happy that Jeep did bring the Grand Wagoneer name here in America. It's been going for nearly 30 plus years, so very happy to see that Jeep has came to play in the body on frame luxury segment here. But keep in mind, this has an overall length of 214.7 inches with a 123-inch wheelbase. Keep in mind, you can go for the extended version of the Escalade and the Navigator, but in the short wheelbase version of those competitors, this is the longest in the segment. But looking at these tires and wheels here, I actually like this rim design. It looks really good with the light gray exterior color. These are a 285/45 Eagle Touring tires, so pretty good tires. They're wrapped in this 22-inch rim design, just like every other competitor in this segment. And my model also has adaptive suspension, so this vehicle will lower and raise itself, especially if you have small children. They can get into this vehicle very easily at its lower setting. I think I have the vehicle at its mid setting here, so the stepping height is kind of decent. There's also the Grand Wagoneer name here at the lower part of the door panel with the American flag to show American pride. There's this LED side marker here, and up top, Jeep does offer that large panoramic sunroof, and the third row passenger also gets their own glass. There's these aerodynamic roof rails. There's more of that aluminum painted trim around the window wells here. Open up the door. It does reveal this power running board, so you can access the vehicle. But making our way to the rear here of the Grand Wagoneer, looking at these taillights here, they're going to be a sequential turn signal, LED brake light, and reverse lights. The reverse lights live down here at the lower part of the bumper. There's rear parking sensors, more aluminum painted trim, and Jeep says this can tow up to 8,200 pounds. There's a Series 3 badge, and over here is for the Quattro Drive 2. There's also the Grand Wagoneer name spelled out on the back of the tailgate. There's a rear wiper here, also with this backup camera there. To open up the cargo, Jeep puts the trunk release button right there. Once it opens up, it reveals 27.4 cubic feet of space. Great cubic feet of space, especially if you have all your passengers, and you can put all this stuff back here. This is how you close the tailgate here. Over here is for the seating controls. There's a 12-volt, and there's some grocery hooks back here. And once you fold down the seats, Jeep says that expands to 94.2 cubic feet of space. Keep in mind, you can go for the Cadillac Escalade, which offers best-in-class cargo space. Sitting inside the interior of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 3, as you guys can see, I like this color combination that Jeep offers. There's a two-tone finish to it. There's also real wood throughout this cabin, which looks super impressive. The passenger also has his own screen. There's a screen here. There's also a screen down there. And of course, there's a full digital display right here for the driver. But reaching over to shut the door of the Grand Wagoneer, the push button start is right here. Actually, like the way the push button start looks is actually pushed out, which is really nice. And my apologies for the fan, it's getting a little toasty outside. But looking at the door panel materials, nice leather, nice wood trim. There's your seating controls here. This also has 2-person memory seats. There's this aluminum door handle here. It is auto up, auto down for all 4 windows. Your mirror controls, a lock controls are here. Nice, beautiful stitching, nice area here to rest your elbows. There's gonna be additional storage and cup holder space down here. This also has the Macintosh sound system, which sounds pretty good. It's right on par with the AKG sound system from Cadillac. I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about that. Over here's your headlight controls, your electronic parking brake, dimmer switch, and this does have adjustable pedals. So if you're short, you can bring the pedals towards you or away from you. That's the Grand Wagoneer name here on the actual airbag cover. Over here is how you customize this fully digital display. You can show your Apple CarPlay. Right now I have Usher playing right now or you can just basically skip the next song and whatnot. The materials on the dash, nice leather. There is his bright heads up display. I'm liking the steering wheel on this particular model because it does have this nice two-tone look to it. Over here for your driver's assistance, which is really good. There's also more of that wood trim, aluminum painted trim. Over here for your gear selector, just in case you guys are doing some towing. Down here, there's this aluminum script here. More than nice stitching here throughout the dash. This is a large screen here, as you guys can see, very bright screen. This is running the Uconnect 5 system. There's also over-the-air updates. It does have the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto feature. As you guys can see, my 13 Pro Max is right here, and it's not connected to the wire because it is wireless. Over here is for your heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel function. There's a volume and tune knob. I'm going here to the applications here. There's plenty of things. There's Alexa. There's also Apple CarPlay. There's a backup camera. This also has fan cam. If I can find it really quick. Going here, as you guys can see, you can check on your third row and second row passenger. So I can zoom in, and as you guys can see, I can check on this passenger to the far right side. That's in the third row or whatnot. So you can look around this vehicle as well. So really good tech that Jeep offers here. There's your driver profile. That's the FM radio source. There's a mirror dimmer. There's your navigation, notifications, off-road pages. So just in case you guys want to take your $100,000 Jeep off-road, you can do that. You can also lock the center transfer case, the rear axle. So you can do a lot of things here. But going back, as you guys can see, you can also turn the passenger screen on and off. Unfortunately, as you guys can see, you can't see it from here because Jeep does not want the driver to be looking over there as they're driving. But going back to home here, and as you guys can see, the touch response is just super impressive. There's a pitch and roll. There's a suspension. I kind of have the vehicle in its mid suspension level here, and to adjust it here, as you guys can see, I kind of have it on this highest setting, and the vehicle is going up and down. Very smooth. You can't really tell that it's even doing it. You can also drop the vehicle down to a lower setting, just in case you guys have smaller children that kind of have a harder time getting in and out of the vehicle. There's some shortcut buttons down here. Down here, there's this own screen here for the climate control for the driver and passenger. Like I mentioned, there's 3 level heated and cooled seats. Going here to seats, you can also get a massage, and oh my God, really good massage. Let me go here to turn it on. There's a waterfall, lower back. There's plenty of things that you guys can customize here for the massage function. The passenger also gets its own massage as well. There's different drive modes here, which is a rock, sand and mud, snow, auto, and sport. There's a full low. There's a 4 low. There's a hill descent control here. Over here for the adaptive suspension. Press this button here, and it actually lifts the screen up to reveal a wireless phone charger. There's a Type C and Type A ports in there. There's a 12 volt and HDMI port. You can close this off. There's also some shortcut buttons down here for the auto hold, lane keeping assist, traction control, hazard button, and the vehicle can also park itself via this button here. That's parking sensors. There's a tow haul mode. So nice shortcut buttons there that Jeep offers. There's 2 cup holders, and there's this nice area here to rest your phone. Open up this, it does reveal a refrigerator, which is super cool. And as you guys can see, my bottle of water was ice cold. As you guys can see, very nice feature because this vehicle is worth 6 figures. So I would expect the refrigerator. There's a Type C and a Type A port. It's lined with felt. Probably put your wallet. My iPhone 13, it fits, but you cannot connect it to the wire unless you guys want to bend your cord. I recommend not doing that. But closing this bag, nice wood finish trim here to the lid. There's also nice leather here on the center armrest, nice stitching. There's also this digital rearview camera mirror, just in case you guys have a lot of people in their stuff, which is crowding up the visibility out of the back. Jeep does give you that rearview camera mirror. There's the 3-car garage remote there. LED lights throughout the cabin. These controls here are for the SOS, also for this large panoramic sunroof. And the third row passenger also gets their own sunroof back there, which is really nice. The seats are very supportive and comfortable. They're for a person with a wider frame. There's a Series 3 badge here. Looking at the glove compartment, it does offer a lot of storage. There's the Wagoneer name on the actual dashboard there. I already showed you guys how to use that passenger screen over there. But overall, let's hop into the second and third row of the Grand Wagoneer. Getting into the second and third row here of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, as you guys can see, very large doors here, so you can access the second and third row. And keep in mind, my model also has these power running boards, especially if you have small children, and it does have adaptive suspension, so you can lower and raise this vehicle. But getting back here into the second row, as you guys can see here, unlike that last Wagoneer that I showed you guys, this one has captain's chairs. But looking down here, Jeep says you get around 42.7 inches of legroom, which is really good legroom space. There's also 2 map pockets back here for storage. There's rear air vents, nice wood trim here. You also have this display here. There is 3 level heated and cooled seats here for the second row, which is super impressive. I think no other competitor offers that feature, if I'm not mistaken. You also have these tablet-like screens here. The touch response is just super impressive. This also has a Fire Stick capability as well. As you guys can see, going here to home. Okay, I don't know how to work this thing. Okay, here we go. Going here to watch the demo. As you guys can see, very bright screen here, which is super impressive. You can turn the screens off just in case you guys don't want to see that. But reaching over to shut the door of the Wagoneer, the door sounds very solid. The materials are really nice. There's also this manual sunshade here to block out the sun. Even the grab handle here is stitched in the same beautiful leather and stitching. There's a vent here on the pillar here. There's also your lock controls. Switchgear feels nice. There's the Macintosh name on the actual door panel. There's additional storage and cup holder space. Nice materials here, nice stitching. Like I mentioned, there's this climate control area here. It would be here if you guys had the bench seating. I'm assuming that's where Jeep puts the panel here. There's also a USB port. There's a 12-volt here, also with a household outlet, 2 cup holders here. Open up this, it does reveal a deep amount of storage. And like I mentioned, the driver and passenger also has their own refrigerator up there. Unfortunately, this area does not get it. Pull this back, it does reveal a Type-C and a Type-A port. You can probably put your phone or wallet in there. Above me, there's this large panoramic sunroof. This headliner is gonna be a suede Alcantara. There's another grab handle here, stitched with this beautiful leather here. But getting into the third row really quickly here, these running boards do help. Pressing this button up here, the seat will tilt itself, just push it out of its way. As you guys can see, plenty of space to get into the third row. I'm gonna get back here really quickly. As you guys can see here, once I slide over here, this is where the seat right here at its far setting. As you guys can see, I have plenty of space. Jeep says you get around 36.3 inches of legroom here in the back seat of the Grand Wagoneer. Looking here, there's going to be your own set of rear air vents here. There's this recline feature, a cup holder, a Type-C port, Type-A port, additional storage here as well. The materials are going to be hard touch plastic. Surprised to see that. The headliner does continue down here with this suede Alcantara material, and the passengers back here also get their own standard size sunroof. You can close this back if you're like. I'm surprised Jeep didn't put a power operating feature here for this row. The seats are very comfortable. You can sit 3 people across, which is super impressive. The floor back here is completely flat, but overall, the second and third row of the Grand Wagoneer is very spacious, very comfortable. Let's talk about the powertrain specs here for the Grand Wagoneer. This uses Jeep's 6.4 liter V8. This powertrain makes 471 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, and Jeep says this can tow up to 8,200 pounds here on the Grand Wagoneer. Fuel economy is rated at 13 in the city, 18 on the highway, and 15 combined. That's horrible fuel economy compared to the other competitors in the segment. But if you guys don't care about fuel economy, the Jeep is still a good option. Starting off in the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer, this one is fully loaded. This one has all the options. Also have a refrigerator here in the actual center armrest, like I showed you guys. You also have the screens in the back, which is super impressive because you can bring your family on a long road trip. They can bring in the PlayStation, Xbox, whatever video game source that they have, they can bring it. This has Jeep's 6.4 liter V8. This makes 471 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. So great power from this 6.4 liter V8. It's also paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. As you guys can hear, the V8 sounds pretty good, and that's with me not even with my foot to the floor, but it just gets up and goes. This vehicle can tow up to 8,200 pounds, so you can still tow with the Grand Wagoneer. Just in case you guys wanted to tow a boat or even a couple of jet skis, you can definitely do it. But this thing drives freaking well. This also has adaptive suspension, so this vehicle can lower and raise itself. And honestly, just driving here, I don't feel like I'm driving a big old SUV. This thing feels very planted. Like I mentioned, it also has adaptive suspension. I get a bunch of stares and looks. A lot of people look at this and try to figure out what is this, because this does compete against the Lincoln Navigator, the Cadillac Escalade, the BMW X7. So it does have some great competitors in this segment. But I think Jeep did build a world-class luxury SUV here, because this thing has really nice materials, a bunch of tech. As you guys can see, there's screens down here for the climate control. There's this large screen here, also a gauge cluster. You get the 2 monitors in the back. So they did build something very, very, very important. Fuel economy. 13 in the city, 18 on the highway. Not the best fuel economy, but if you guys can afford this vehicle, you guys don't even care about fuel economy. But you can go for the Cadillac Escalade that has best in class, I think, when it comes to fuel economy, because it does offer that diesel powertrain, which gets around 20 plus miles to the gallon, which is super impressive for a vehicle that size. But with this having an 8-speed auto, this thing will get up and go like nothing. So you can always get your kids to school and soccer practice on time, because this vehicle will get out of its own way. The visibility is great. You also have these large side mirrors here, great visibility out of the front and the rear. And it's also this digital rear view camera mirror here. So you guys have a lot of stuff, or people in the back, you can't see out the back, you just flip this up and it will show you what's behind you. There's this bright heads-up display. It does show you your speed, also your driver's assistance stuff. This does have lane keeping assist, rear cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring, emergency braking with forward collision warning. So all the features that you guys want in a modern day SUV, Jeep does give it to you. Me personally, if I was you guys, I would try out the seats, because I can't get in a comfortable seating position. I'm not sure why, but the lumbar support does feel really good in this vehicle, but I just can't get in a great seating position. The materials, like I mentioned, very world-class materials. Jeep did a really good job when they built the Grand Wagoneer, or basically they brought it back, because it's been going off the US market for nearly 30 plus years. So Jeep did bring it back. And go around, please go around, go around, go around, go around, go around, go around, go around. Yeah, how about you just go around? If you see a car stop, why just stay behind me? Okay, come on. Why every time I get over here, it's always somebody? It's always. Okay, so we're gonna do a run here. I'm gonna just keep the vehicle in its normal setting. And this thing will legit lift off. It feels like it's gonna lift off its frame, but this thing is pretty damn fast and it will get up to speed. I think this thing is maybe a 7-second SUV, or maybe in the low 6 seconds, because this thing is pretty damn quick. And it does use that 6.4 liter V8 like I mentioned. So great powertrain numbers. The fuel economy, I'm not even worried about the fuel economy. Fuel economy, like I mentioned, if you can afford fuel, you can afford this vehicle, because fuel economy, this thing is very damn thirsty. 13 in the city, 18 on the highway. This thing will drink gas like crazy, and Jeep doesn't offer no plug-in variant. There's no hybrid variant, there's nothing. If you want V8 power, Jeep is gonna give it to you. You have to look at the Escalade if you want diesel, or you have to look at the Navigator if you want turbocharge. So keep that in mind. Jeep does not offer neither one of those. Let's do another one here, just because we can. And the 8-speed auto is just paired beautiful with this powertrain. It knows what right gear to be in. And honestly, I'm just super impressed. Like I mentioned, your kids will never be late to school, no after school activities. They're able to get to school on time, especially if you're trying to impress their friends. This vehicle right here would definitely do it. You also have a great stereo sound system, which is the Macintosh sound system. It sounds right on par with the AKG that's in the Escalade, but I think the Macintosh might be just a little bit better. I want you guys to tell me which one do you guys like the most. Is it the AKG or is it the Macintosh? But if you guys are looking for something different in the luxury body on frame segment here, I think Jeep did build a world-class SUV to compete with the other competitors in this segment. After spending time with the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 3 with 4x4, hope you guys have enjoyed this review here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next review.